Hey guys, here's a video of an ABC News host challenging Bibi Netanyahu, basically claiming that Trump is not aligned with the decision of Israel to attack Iran after new reports last Thursday came out that it was very, very close to getting a nuclear weapon, which is obviously very, very dangerous for not just Israel, but for the entire world. Let's see how Bibi has to respond.
From President Trump on Truth Social say Iran and Israel should make a deal and will make a deal. We will have peace soon between Israel and Iran. Many calls and meetings now taking place. So if President Trump asked you to stop the bombing campaign to resume these talks, would you do it?
Well, President Trump has been a great leader of the world, and a great leader and a great friend of Israel. And he put forward the terms very clearly in the negotiations. He said, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And in order for it not to have a nuclear weapon, it cannot have the capacity to enrich uranium, which is the prerequisite for nuclear weapons. Iran refused. It just refuses all the time. It cheats, and it continues to try to weaponize the enriched uranium they already have. They have 9 atom bombs worth of enriched uranium. They're working secretly, as we shared with the United States. They're working secretly to rapidly weaponize this. In a few months, they would have nuclear bombs. That's what they want to do. They want to continue stringing the U.S. along, build up those weapons. They don't want a seat at the table. They want to blow up the table. Specifically, they want to blow up Israel and purchase time. And I think the U.S. Shares the intel. I know they share the intel because we share intel with each other. If it's fake talks, obviously not. If Iran will relinquish the means to destroy our country, then obviously it's preferable to anything else. But that hasn't happened so far, and frankly, I doubt it's going to happen now.
But he said Iran and Israel should make a deal and will make a deal. How do you explain that disconnect? He seems very optimistic, in fact, seeming like he wants you to get back to the table and get back to the table now. You're saying there's no getting back to the table until the goals of the bombing campaign are achieved.
Well, if the goals could be achieved through negotiations, fine. I said that to the president when I saw him in Washington. That didn't happen in the 2 months of negotiations that President Trump gave them. Right now, they thought that they could get away with it. They found that our very decisive and very precise military action against their nuclear program, against their ballistic missile program, is effective. So now they want to stop it and continue on the side to continue to develop those 2 means of mass death that are meant to wipe Israel off the map. And this is a battle, that we have to assure is won. If it could be won diplomatically, fine. Frankly, it didn't happen diplomatically, and we had to act because we're not going to put our neck on a nuclear, to a nuclear knife and let them destroy us. We're fighting this larger war against this oppressive regime that has oppressed the Iranian people for 46 years, that has spread mayhem, violence, and terror throughout the Middle East and well beyond. They tried to assassinate President Trump twice. They tried to kill me twice. They actually had their proxies shoot a drone right into my bedroom window. They're targeting every one of our ministers, key ministers, for death. So they speak a good line, but they don't walk the walk. And again, we have to remove that threat, and I think it's a larger battle. It's a battle of civilization against barbarism. This regime is the cult of death. Don't make any mistakes about it. And sometimes, the forces of civilization have to act before it's too late. We did, and we're going to remove those threats against our existence one way or the other. The Jewish people haven't traveled over time this great odyssey of 3,500 years with some of the worst tragedies meted out to any people during their existence. We're not going to have a second Holocaust. We'll do whatever is necessary to prevent that. And President Trump has been a terrific friend and a terrific leader, and I trust his judgment. And we have, together, we know what needs to be done in order to assure that those 2 twin threats to our very survival, to the survival and the peace of the world, are removed.
So are you going to target the supreme leader?
Look, we're doing what we need to do. I'm not going to get into the details, but we've targeted their top nuclear scientists. It's basically Hitler's nuclear team. We got them. We still have work to do on other sites. We have targeted their ballistic missile manufacturing facilities. Understand this. You see these bombs. You saw a single bomb. It's a 1-ton bomb, John, dropping on Tel Aviv and other places, causing killing men, women, and children. They're deliberately targeting our population. We're not doing that. We're targeting their military sites, their nuclear sites, their ballistic missile sites, so they don't have 20,000 of these that no country could survive with. Yeah, they want to continue stringing us along, but you know, there's a limit, because if we don't act now, there won't be a 13th hour.
But U.S. officials tell us that the president flatly rejected a plan, an opportunity that the Israelis had to take out the supreme leader. Do you understand his concern? My understanding is his concern.
He's trying to bait him into saying how he disagrees with Trump.
Is that this would escalate the conflict beyond where it is already?
It's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict. We've had half a century of conflict spread by this regime that terrorizes everyone.
His logic makes absolutely no sense. He's saying that basically if they target the leader, then it's going to therefore cause more pushback and more of a aggressive strike back by Iran, which makes obviously no sense. That is exactly how you destroy the Iranian regime and make sure a nuclear capable Iran never ever happens.
In the Middle East, has bombed the Aramco oil fields in Saudi Arabia, is spreading terrorism and subversion and sabotage everywhere. That's the forever war is what Iran wants. And they're bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. In fact, what Israel is doing is preventing this, bringing an end to this aggression.
So it sounds to me like you're saying you disagreed with President Trump on this, saying that taking out the.
He's absolutely right there, and the proof is, even though there's countries like Saudi Arabia who are currently in between. I mean, obviously they don't like Iran, but they actually came out with a report that they were actually glad that Israel struck Iran to make sure that they don't have any nuclear capabilities. Now, they also came out with a report saying that they condemned the attack. However, the politicians, and not just them, other Arab countries, and even the America First people who claim that Israel should not have attacked Iran, deep down, they're very, very happy that Israel did that to avoid that threat.
Supreme leader would be a mistake. What else would you like from the United States? I mean, the United States could provide.
Well, John, I wouldn't rush to conclusions.
There are some prominent supporters of President Trump who say that the United States should not be involved at all. Let me give you, for example, Tucker Carlson, of course, has been close to President Trump for quite some time, speaks to him frequently. He said the United States should not at any level participate in war with Iran. No funding, no American weapons, no troops on the ground. There is another option. Drop Israel, let them fight their own wars. What do you say to those supporters of President Trump, some of his supporters, who say
to the people who claim that Israel should not be involved in this, that America should not be involved in Israel's wars in helping destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities, the one counter question you should always ask them that's going to leave them quiet is, do you also believe America shouldn't have joined World War II? And that will usually leave them silent.
The United States should not be involved in any way.
We're not just fighting our enemy, we're fighting your enemy. For God's sake, they chant.
And what people don't realize, sooner or later, if Israel didn't have to do this, another country would have to do this, and it probably would be America. Now, all these America First people saying, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Dan Bilzerian, all these people, they would be glad. They are glad. Deep down, they're very, very glad that Israel came out and destroyed Iran's nuclear capabilities, or currently in process in doing so. And right now, even though they're not saying it, one day, God forbid, if this didn't happen and Iran did threaten America in a real way, meaning they had the nuclear weapons, they're ready to shoot it, they would be hoping, they would be begging Israel to go and destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities. They're just going out and saying this because they're all talk.
Death to Israel, death to America. We're simply on their way. And this could reach America soon. I mean, to have these mad mullahs who are committed to destroying us in order to destroy you, to say that they should have nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles to deliver them to you, and to say that that's not your interest, well, we're fighting this war. We're taking the action. America is supporting us in defense, deeply, deeply appreciated. But this is a threat to the entire world. It's a threat to Israel, as I said, to our Arab neighbors, to Europe, to America. They chant death to America. It's though this is not your business. This is not myopia. This is utter blindness. I mean, sometimes you have to take a stand against evil. And that's what the American people instinctively understand, most of them, I have to say. And that's what President Trump understands. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, and it's a battle of good against evil. America should and does stand with the good. That's what President Trump is doing, and I deeply appreciate his support.
Over the weekend.
Absolutely. And just to add to that, America joined World War II to destroy the Nazis. That was obviously an amazing decision. Now, there are also a lot of wars, like, for example, the Iraq War, or the Afghanistan, where it basically came out to nothing, and ended up backfiring, being a waste of time. Doesn't mean that now you don't have you shouldn't go to any more wars just because you made a mistake before. It's very, very clear that Iran wants to not just destroy Israel, they want to destroy America as well. America would be right after them. And it's basically the same aligned interests, not just the values of Israel that align with America, but its enemies are also very, very similar. Now, to add to his point, today, right after this podcast, right after this video, Donald Trump actually came out with a tweet against Tucker Carlson, saying how he's stupid for not supporting Israel to destroy the Iranian nuclear capabilities. Let's look at the Truth Social tweet. Somebody please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very, very simple. And he basically clashed back after today when Tucker Carlson went on a podcast with Bannon, and they basically discussed how Bannon was basically saying how Trump is influenced by his pro-Israel donors, and he's basically bought by the people like Miriam Adelson and people who are pro-Trump and give their input onto this war. And here's another video to debunk what this ABC host said about that Trump does not want to destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities, and he just wants to make a deal to play it safe. Here is another Truth Social post that Trump made today. Iran should have told him to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should evacuate Tehran. Wow. This came out today. Obviously, we don't really know what exactly that means. We definitely hope that Israel and America collaborate into the best interests of both their countries, as well as the real Iranians who are not pro the Iranian regime and want a safer and peaceful Iran again. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to watch more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to actually be a part in helping supporting our work, please go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. I'll leave the link in the description below. Thank you so much and have a nice day.